Hello there, and welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva, and today is going to be my first ever ReCUCKOOmendations. What are ReCUCKOOmendations, you may ask? It's something that I just made up. Cuckoo, as in Cuckoo for Books, plus recommendations. I thought this was going to be an interesting way of introducing books that I'm not necessarily reviewing. I hope to be doing more of these. I guess I'll do them by genre first. Today's ReCUCKOOmendations revolves around star-crossed lovers. I'm just going to go and list off 5 of my favorite star-crossed YA novels. First up on my list, and this is the one I really want to share with you guys and I really recommend, it is the Mediator series by Meg Cabot. This was published a while back, around 2001, I believe. The main premise of the story is that our main protagonist, Suze, is a mediator, aka she can hear and talk and see ghosts. She moves halfway across the country because her mom remarries. When she moves into her bedroom, she finds a really, really hot ghost named Jesse Da Silva. You would think that it's kind of useless to want to be in love with a dead guy. You forget about that and you try to not even think about that problem because the books, all 6 of them, are just so fun to read. The first 4 books especially, they take on a sort of episodic feel, so each book she has to mediate a new ghost, not counting Mr. Hot Ghost. What I love about this series most especially is that a good 15 years after they were first published, the author Meg Cabot came out with a novella and a full novel continuing their tales, and I'm currently reading the novella. I am loving it so much. I want to talk about it more in a full review. They're so fun. Her style of writing and the voice of the protagonist is hilarious. Like, you would think it being published 15 years ago, it wouldn't age well, like the jokes wouldn't be as funny, it would seem kind of corny and out of date, but they're just as hilarious, still works, still timeless. I really recommend them. Second star-crossed lover novel recommendation. A bit on the nose, but this is honestly one of my favorite books. It's the Starcrossed series by Josephine Angelini. I like to describe this book as Twilight instead of vampires, you've got Greek gods. That sounds pretty cool, right? It's a story about 2 star-crossed people. Spoiler! I don't want to give away too much of the plot because a lot of the big reveal happens towards the end of the book. It all takes place on Nantucket and it's sort of this idyllic small town vibe, and there's lots of mythology in it. It's not just, oh, we're just gonna borrow a few threads of Greek mythology here and then just make our own story. There's a lot of references if you can catch it. But yes, give it a shot if you're looking for a very Twilight-y romance. This is definitely more romance-centric than The Mediator. Number 3 on my star-crossed list would be Melissa de la Cruz's Blue Blood series. This, I think, is a grossly underrated series. Twilight meets Gossip Girl, but cooler. This is one of those star-crossed ensembles, so instead of having one couple just be tragically unable to be together, you've got this couple and this couple and this couple, and they're all mostly unable to be with each other because vampires. So the Blue Blood series, I think they're about 7 books all in all, not counting like the bonus books. It's world building heavy. Melissa de la Cruz really builds her own universe and makes her own rules. Sometimes it gets a bit confusing. This is the kind of series you'd want a marathon. It is possible that you would forget the universe's rules if you take breaks between. I know I did. She made an adult spin-off called Vampires of Manhattan, and she was supposed to write a sequel, but she's never publishing it. So I'm just gonna put that out there, just warning that if you don't want to be the type of person who gets stuck never knowing what happens next, she has announced that she's not gonna release it. At least if you want to read the YA set of the books, go ahead, and when it ends, it pretty much ends. Reading the adult version isn't really that necessary, although if you're a fan and you grow to love the characters, you're gonna want to read it. Next up on my star-crossed lovers list would be the Luxe series by Anna Godbersen. This is a quartet 4 books, and another one of those star-crossed ensembles. You've got rich socialites falling in love with farm boys, other socialite falling in love with engaged socialite's fiance, maid falling in love with, who did she fall in love with? I don't remember. There are no supernatural elements. It's plain old human fun. The author of Gossip Girl blurbed it: mystery, romance, jealousy, betrayal, humor, and gorgeous historically accurate details. I couldn't put the Luxe down. Aside from a really good story, if you want to buy book versions of this, you'll have pretty books on your bookshelf. These are the gowns I always talk about, the gowns on the book covers. And the 5th and final ReCUCKOOmendation, I might be cheating here a bit because I haven't really read this particular novel, although I've read other books in the universe, and I'm talking about Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. Lady Midnight is about a parabatai falling for her parabatai, and that's not allowed. But of course you've also got, you know, City of Bones, Starcrossed lovers. This entire universe is built on the backs of star-crossed lovers. Personally not a fan of the actual romances in the novel, except for Malik. Go Malik! Whoa Malik! Comment down below if you love Malik. But I really love the universe. I know it gets a lot of flack, but hate is gonna hate. If you read a lot of YA and you haven't picked up these books, then I don't know what you're doing. Just kidding, that was such a judgy face. But it's, you know, it's magical. It's got vampires, it's got fairies, it's got werewolves, it's got warlocks. Pretty dang good world building. I know a lot of people might argue with me on that one. If you've never heard of any of the star-crossed romances in the book, then hold your horses for the ending of the first book, because it is quite a twist. And that about does it for my very first ReCUCKOOmendations. You can join me on my other bookish adventures on Twitter and Instagram, both at Cuckoo for Books. Please don't forget to subscribe. I will see you guys next Sunday or sooner for the next video. Bye guys!